Hi, I am Missy with Missy's Little Things in Life. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. Whether you are a gym rat or convalescing and moving into light activity, you are going to experience some muscle aches and pains. And in today's video, that's exactly what I am going to talk about. So I hope you will stay tuned. Welcome back. We're going to talk about 3 types of muscular aches and pains. The first one will be DOMS. It is an acronym, DOMS, for the delayed onset of muscular soreness. And in the medical profession and exercise profession, you will hear that term oftentimes rather than delayed onset of muscular soreness. The second thing we're going to talk about, or the second type rather, will be Charley horses. You know, those spasms that you get in your calves, hamstrings, feet. The third type of muscular soreness that we're going to talk about will be the aches that you get in your legs, the type that seems from your muscle all the way down to the bone. Oftentimes it is referred to as restless leg syndrome. So, to tell you a little bit about myself, I loved exercise. And I say that in past tense. I still love to exercise. It's just my life is much different now. For years, I worked out several times a week, several hours a week. I went to exercise classes. I even eventually acquired a few certifications and taught a couple of classes a week. I loved working out with weights. It, to me, was one of the best workouts I could do. In 2011, all of that came to a screeching halt when I was diagnosed with an aortic dissection. The aorta is a vessel that is behind your sternum. It is the size of a hose pipe. It is the main blood vessel in your body that takes blood away from your heart and takes it into the rest of your body. And I had developed a little hole on the inside that was beginning to tear and create an aneurysm. I share that with you because I want you to know that I understand the gym rat extreme, but I also understand the convalescing extreme and everything in between. So, first of all, I do need to get 2 disclaimers out of the way. Number 1, this video is not being sponsored by anyone or any company. Any products that I happen to show you are strictly for demonstration purposes. I purchased with my own money and I am not being paid to show them to you as in the form of advertisement. Number 2, I am not a medical professional. If you have some serious medical concerns, I certainly hope that you will contact your doctor and go discuss that with him or her. And what I share with you is strictly from my own perspective, my own experience, and what has worked for me. So now that I have that out of the way, let's talk about muscle soreness. DOMS, D-O-M-S, it is the acronym for delayed onset of muscular soreness, is caused by new activity being introduced to your body or activity that you have not done in quite some time. A new challenge, and that may be adding an extra 30 pounds to your rack squats, or it could be going from convalescing to light activity, and light activity can be considered sweeping and mopping your kitchen floor. And I do want to point out to you, there is, for me at least, a difference in the discomfort between DOMS and a muscular or injured ligament. Some people cannot tell the difference, and some people, pain is pain. Now, I grew up with the adage of no pain, no gain. I'm sure you all have heard of that, and that comes from DOMS. Delayed onset of muscle soreness comes with progression of your activity. But you don't want to injure yourself. So how do we minimize the discomfort of DOMS and keep from injuring ourselves? Well, number one, we warm up. And you might be saying, well, all I'm going to do is sweep and mop my kitchen floor. Well, I have been more sore sweeping and mopping my kitchen floor than I ever was from an exercise class or working out with weights. And I will tell you why. When you go to an exercise class, or when anyone who works out regularly with weights, they all know you warm up first, you stretch out, you do your activity, you go up to a peak, and you start coming back down by cooling down, and then you stretch out again. All the while you are hydrating before, during, and after the workout. Well, oftentimes when we are sweeping and mopping our floors, we don't always do that. And I don't know about you, but it also involves me moving furniture. Nothing heavy, just sliding it across the floor, but I'm doing something. I am exercising muscles that have not been warmed up, have not been stretched, and may not have experienced that activity in a week or two. Now, one thing I want to remind you is, know the difference between a sore muscle from activity and an injured muscle. You want to minimize the soreness by warming up, stretching, cooling down, and stretching again. And also hydrating with H2O, and that means water, not Coke, not coffee, not iced tea or juice, but water. All that will help minimize the discomfort of DOMS, and the warm up and the stretching, cool down and stretching will minimize injury. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the Charley horse, that nasty spasm that you get at 2 a.m. in the morning when you are sleeping nice and sound. What causes a Charley horse is activity, again, but also lactic acid. Lactic acid is the byproduct of burning calories, burning fat, and it gets lodged, for a lack of a better word, into certain muscles, and it causes a spasm in that muscle. Now, if you are a cardiovascular patient, such as like I am at this time, and on cardiovascular meds, whether it's from an aortic dissection or a heart issue, and those medications will be statins and blood pressure medications, beta blockers, you are going to experience more Charley horses than you probably have in the past. I have never gotten one in my hamstrings until after I started taking the heart meds for my aortic dissection, which, by the way, I am going to leave a link down below explaining what an aortic dissection is. And if you're not familiar with it, you are put on quite a few heart medications to help manage that dissection. Now, to keep moving forward, what you want to do to minimize those Charley horses is hydrate. Hydrate where you flush that the toxins out of your body, for lack of a better word. the lactic acid that settles, you want to get that flushed out. You also want to perhaps increase your electrolytes, and you can do that with certain types of water. You can buy that over the counter. Stay away from Gatorade and Powerade if you are a cardiovascular patient. You do not need that extra sodium, and you do not need the sugar. But there are companies that will make little packets that will, little flavor packets that are full of potassium and other electrolytes that you can put in a bottle of water, mix it up, and chug it down. I keep one in my purse all the time. But the main thing is to hydrate with H2O to minimize your Charley horses. Before I go any further, if you like this video and would like to see more content like this, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would, subscribe. There's a little red subscribe button down below where my finger is pointing. There's also a bell if you want to be notified the next time I put up a video. Not all of my videos are going to be about health and cardiovascular issues. Some of them might be painting a piece of furniture or going natural with my hair. But still, I have fun making them, and I hope that you can enjoy them. The third one I'm going to talk to you about are those achy legs, the ones that make you really restless and fidget. It is hard for me to sit in church. It is hard for me to sit in a class or a meeting. I will sit and fidget and wiggle. I want to put my legs up because they will start cramping so bad, and it seems like putting my legs up just makes it a little bit easier. But there are 3 or 4 things, I think 3 things that will cause those. Number 1, lack of activity. If you have been convalescing and your legs are aching a lot, you need to get up and walk, even if it is walking up and down the hallway in your home. So get up and move, and that will help with the aches. Stretch your legs out. Really do a deep stretch. That will also help with the aching. Another cause for that, especially if you are healthy, is dehydration. And even if you are a cardiovascular patient, dehydration is a major cause for that cramping in your legs. Another reason you have that cramping in your legs, whether you are a healthy gym rat or whether you are convalescing, is you are dehydrated and you have flushed all the electrolytes out of your system, and you are severely short on potassium, vitamin K, those important minerals that you need and that your muscles need to repair, to build, to whatever it is that your goal is. Again, I like to keep some bottled water with a high pH level because you get my vitamins and minerals in that. Many areas, the tap water but is more really and good. More of us are drinking filtered water and bottled water, and I think that's why we are having more restless legs. I know in my area the chlorine level is so high, I've just gotten to a point where I don't like to drink the water. But if you keep some bottled water with a high pH level on hand, something else you can do is drink a tablespoon, or not drink, but take a tablespoon of blackstrap molasses. Yes, it is nasty. It is very nasty. You can add it to either a bottle of water or a glass of water, hold your nose and chug it down. Just whatever it takes, but it has 504 milligrams of potassium. Folks, that's almost a quarter of the daily requirement that our bodies need. That's a lot of potassium. Now, this is regular molasses. It only has about 110 110 milligrams. So you want the blackstrap molasses, and it will say blackstrap on the unsulfured blackstrap. It is nasty, but you know, put it on a hot buttered biscuit or something like that. Another thing that I like to do, I buy the no salt added tomato sauce in this little carton. I will put 3/4 of a cup in a glass about this size over ice with a 1/2 cup of water, 2 splashes of Worcestershire sauce, and I know y'all know where I'm going with this, but I'm not going all the way there. And I put 2 splashes of Tabasco sauce, and I put a twist of lime in there. I leave out the vodka, and if you are on cardiovascular meds, I recommend or strongly suggest you leave the vodka out as well. But I will mix that up. It's 2 to 3 exchanges of fruit. Delicious, nutritious, and 3/4 of a cup of this will have, oh goodness, almost 800, like 770 milligrams of potassium. That is very good. My doctor and I, my cardiologist that is, and I were talking about my legs becoming so restless and cramping so much. And I wasn't happy or getting satisfaction with the potassium chloride tablets he was giving me. And I was taking a liquid potassium chloride that was just really nasty. I mean, I would rather take this than the liquid potassium chloride. And he said to me, you know, I would really rather you eat your potassium. And of course, you're getting the vitamin K, all the other electrolytes that your body really needs. And he said, I promise you, you eat a salad a day and you will not have those cramping legs. And you know, he's right. And I eat a salad almost every day, or leafy greens. It can be kale, turnip greens, mustard greens, collard greens. It can be chopped up and put in a salad. You can wilt it, you can saute it, you can cook it to death Southern style and put some Tabasco sauce on it, and it's delicious. And it will keep your legs from cramping. So, in a nutshell, you want to hydrate. You want to warm up. You want to stretch. You want to cool down. You want to stretch. You want to hydrate. And you want to make sure you replenish those electrolytes that get depleted out of your muscles and out of your body as you increase your activity level. I hope you were able to get something out of this video. I did enjoy sharing it with you. I belong to several aortic dissection forums on Facebook, and that is one thing I saw in common that people who love to exercise also have, and that is just the muscular aches and cramps. Now, a little addendum I want to share with you: if you are on beta blockers and statins, your DOMS, your delayed onset of muscular soreness, will be magnified a little bit, sometimes a lot. You will also just experience more aches and cramps in your legs, more Charley horses. I have had more Charley horses since I have been on the medication than my previous 52 years before. That's a lot of Charley horses. But it is the statins. We don't have a choice, especially if you're an aortic dissection survivor, of not taking those medications. And I personally do not want to be a guinea pig to see what happens if I don't. So another problem that you could possibly have, if you've gone ahead, you're hydrating, you are replenishing your electrolytes, another issue you may have is deep vein thrombosis. You will need to get your doctor to rule that out. And I strongly recommend that you will see him or her before you go any further. But otherwise, for those muscle aches and pains, remember to warm up, stretch, cool down, stretch, hydrate, and replace all those electrolytes. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the video, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it.